What did we do first? Just press live. And I should now probably be live from there. So, alright, let me just briefly grab my Zolder event. Copy the password out of there. Why did you open forward here? I have a bad feeling about this because for some reason my frame rate is really shit right now in here. Did my SteamVR bug out? Because there's a bug in SteamVR where it sometimes decides to hit. Yeah, it feels like something is wrong right now. Yeah, no, my time graph is normal. Yep, that was just the infamous SteamVR bug. Right, we need... Oh yeah, right, I need to change my car. I need to change the car. So... KTM crossbar. Thing is, it does save your password, but only when you join the server, not when you like type the data and then like left everything alone. So, and it's raining. Boy. And it's going to rain more. Yay! I mean, it's our last race. We're probably going to need less tire pressures, but like a PSI at least. I want like 1.2 PSI. Actually, the track is even quite warm right now still, so we definitely need less PSI on the tires. Because last time around in... we go for brake this pads type 2 this time around due to the fact that we will be racing here for like 2 hours. The type 1 pads probably won't last us. They will last us for qualifying, but they won't last us for the race. So I'm just like, go type 2. Type 2 will last 2 hours easy, no problem. Okay, the rear wing setting is a bit insane. Oh yeah, right, before I forget it. Yeah, they set way too much TC on this car. Won't click down on the ABS because that's probably also too insane. We're going to get normal fuel loads. I think we won't click soft on the suspension. And perhaps slightly reduce the bump stop range on the rear. Because it's just a bit insane what they run in such settings. So, right. Hit drive. Why isn't just simply applying some centering force to fix problems like that? This is brand new. So we need the rain lights, headlights on, windscreen wiper on. But yeah, dynamic wet. Came right out in front of someone. It's not nice, especially when I'm understeering that much.
Yellow flag ahead, watch out.
Let's just let it by.
There's a slow car ahead.
boy! Nearly sit in the back of that guy. But I mean, yeah, the tires are building way quick temperature pressure. I mean, the thing is, it is dynamic weather, it can change. Hammer from the left is immediately escalating further into the pressure. I mean, there's slight spray coming from his tires. You can see some slight spray getting kicked up. So the track is definitely damp. Oh hey, thanks. That was absolutely no grip whatsoever. Thing is, the weather prediction is for it to get worse. There's 18 minutes remaining in the session, so we're not going to. I think the weather prediction is that it gets worse. Yeah, I mean, that's very much a track cut. Just the weather problem.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Yeah, track is rated as wet, so I mean, you would expect for a wet track to need wet tires. And not to cook them completely alive. Which this track is right now very much doing, so. It's like I need to lower the tire pressure by like 2 psi. It's that bad. And again, the car's heading a bit wide. Just to say a bit is like an understatement. Chicane, probably a second gear chicane. What will be fun with this track is track limits. It is a notorious track for getting bonked by track limits. Also, you can lower the TC. There's so much traction, there's like I run pretty low TC. Now I'm clearly going quicker than him at this point. Even though my tires are just running completely out of control with the pressures.
Clear on the right.
He took a better run for the chicane than me. And now he will probably get some run. Okay, that's a bit too much for cross.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front. Yellow flag in sector 1.
And we would still definitely have to break between those two markup. Yeah, I should probably come in sooner rather than later, correct my pressures down because they're way too high right now.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Honestly, I should just do what he did and
Yellow flag ahead.
take a test drive for pit lane. I think I will chop like... Because we need to slightly be above 30, but not too much. Still need to find my braking point for this corner. Come on!
Flag, yellow flag. Be careful there. Got some light damage on the front of the car.
Fucking hell, rear tires just went there completely. Ah, for fuck's sakes. So we need to definitely drop pressures because Jesus Christ, this was way too much. Let's chop like 1.2 or 4. Honestly, like 1.4. 1.4 of this side, 1.2 of this side, I would say. These should be the versions now. And drop one more TC click. I'm gonna drop the rear wing one more click as well. Seems very stable and fine. Well, we actually in GT4 8 for 1.4 seconds. Yeah, I mean, I had the time there to go like a second faster than that, for sure. So I'm honestly not worried about pace right now, but that's probably not the true pace. And you might be just trying out like dry tires or something on these conditions. was too late. Yep, this is...
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Margin between shooting wide and going precisely what you need. It's pretty small there. Come on, I had to lift there when it really isn't necessary. Oh, come on, this car's really understeering right now. For some reason, so much pushed in. Didn't really change anything that should make it worse in terms of push. This is so weird, like on the higher pressures this car was better driving than the lows now. It's so...
Yellow flag in sector 1. Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front.
I'm gonna have 6 minutes, not much. I'll
Well done, mate. This is me, your muscle guys.
Oh god. Completely missed the corner. Oh boy, this... I hate that shit again.
Slow car ahead.
There's also a complete lack of braking markers for that corner as well. It's... guess that dream sometimes is this. Car for some reason it's just not gripping the asphalt for no...
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Come on, for fuck's sakes. Let's reduce the ABS setting. Yes, reducing it. To stop the car from doing stupid stuff like fucking applying anti-lock brakes when it really doesn't need to. It just needs to slam the fucking anchors into the ground. Oh, come on, brakes. Ah. I was just like, no, I don't want to slow down. I need to disable ABS to make it fucking stop finally.
This is me, your crossovers. Yellow flag in sector 1.
It's about 2 minutes on the clock, but that's on the clock. They will probably advance the session quicker than that. So
Yellow flag ahead, watch out. Well done, mate.
probably still
This is me, your
massive.
crossovers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm off Bullwinkle about like 1.1 seconds. Heavy session is going to advance anyway in a sec. So I turn to garage right. So let's see, what can I do? Ah, come on. Just advance.
Green light, go, go, go.
So throw me out of the menu here. Also, we don't need that much fuel because then, so the thing is, the car's still understeery, really. I think I will lower the rear wing again. Just to brake the exposure. Yeah, we can do that. We're not running aggressive brake discs. Brake power's fine. Anti-roll on the front at 2 should be fine. Maybe I drop that to 1. Yeah, the options on the rear are not that much. So I don't have that many options on the rear. I think I should probably increase my tire pressures because the previous run took a bit to get up. Applying, good drive. So, ignition, starter. Oh, come on. So, windshield wiper and rain light, yes. So, for everything that we need for our qualifying session. Even though it's surprising that the game doesn't bonk you for not running rain light. It doesn't tell you like, hey, you're not running rain light. You're bad. No, it doesn't give a shit that you're not running rain light. reminded that my car's slightly lighter now. So I can brake a bit later, but not by much. Yeah, in the wet the fuel consumption is about 2 liters a lap. I have to see if I can perhaps make it even on a splash and go. Just take as little fuel as possible. Because this KTM is already a candidate to last a 90-minute race without refueling. So yes. Bit too much curbing. I think the ARB setting helped the car a bit. What's the decreased feel of it? The car still is a bit like sluggish into corners. Yeah, the pressure idea was good, I think. It slightly increases. So the thing was at last race I really suffered with bad tires at the end. So I need to perhaps because I think there will be mandatory stops, so we can't just run through. At that point I should probably just take tires, because this car eats them. The wet tire at least. The dry tire would be fine, the wet just doesn't hold on long enough with my driving style. So what do we get? 42, that's not good. I am only half a second off. The pole sitter, so that's actually really good. It's a bit too much drift. I just get into too quickly that corner. But the gaps in the front is really tight, really tight. Return to garage, yes, confirm. Yeah, I dropped the ribbon already from... What can I do, what can I do? In the setup still. Nothing really, honestly. Yeah, right be. Let's just run. see, because we're currently sitting P4 after second off the top time. We have 21 minutes remaining in the session. So let's say this is a good time to attempt again. A fresh set. Because my driving style will for sure damage them, and that's why we have a fresh set. Yeah, there's some decent chunk of time to be found in that chicane. By driving it properly. Okay, I need to move the TC up because compared to the last run, there's a lot of oversteer right now out of the car. Let's see what I can put together. Oh god, that's so sloppy. Ah, still bad. I just fucked up the entry, so. God damn it, this chicane is just such a pain in the ass. And no wicks. At least I learned there is a point at this point where you can overshoot. This has compromised my next lap. So, well, I mean, this doesn't matter too much. Okay, that was a bit early. Yeah, there's nothing to gain apparently in the first. It's so wrong how I drove that chicane. I have one more attempt after this one. I'm getting handed down the field right now. Best exit. But P3.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Okay, the car's getting a bit glitchy. It's slippery. Oh, the ball would just put in like a massive lap. Do I improve there now? Because I properly got the chicane. Little off. Need a pretty minimal improvement to get P2.
Well done, mate.
P2.
Fastest lap. Lapping validated.
Yeah, I have to get off the track. Return to garage. P2! But well, I'm 6/10 now down to Paul Riccard. Like, he very much shows that, like, he's a butterfly driver. It's like, it took me way too long to look at, like, the list of, like, the team names and realize, like, wait a second, that's Butterball. Ah. I know those names. Oh my, oh my, oh my. And yeah, P2 in class. 6/10 down, we beat Ryan Ware. We beat some... Well, I shouldn't have said that too loud, but he didn't beat me, so that's good. He didn't invalidate me, so that's... Thanks, Romansky, thanks. Mareuter in P5. Hartmann in P6, the other Butterpal car. Droster in the BMW. McDonald in his Merc again. Barker in his Alpine 1.6 seconds. I mean, the top 6 in these conditions within a sec, top 5 within a second, that's pretty good. So Barker, Toko, pretty decent result for him. P10, Fuchs, P11, Iversen. It's sad, he's 1.8 seconds back in P12. I mean, still decently solid. Vandeplus in P13 with his Porsche. Fastnacht in his Merc again. P14. That's all within 2 seconds still of the pole. That's Anton P14, that's solid. Grenzer in another BMW. Grundhofer in a Porsche. Sachs in another Ginetta. And Fennings, who's now 3 seconds off pole position. I'm missing our lovely... how is it? Brunetix. Brunetix seems to be missing out of this race. That's sad. Maybe he went down to the AM division. He probably is more at home, instead of getting his ass completely handed to us. So now the GT3s are coming through. They're only about like 6 seconds per lap faster than us. Well, the first 2 coming through. And he's still on provisional pole with like only being like 7 seconds, just under 7 seconds faster than me. 6.8 seconds. But yes, I try. Very speed. So we need to crunch the numbers. That's for sure. So, in terms of the setup, right? I mean, if the temperatures remain the same, I would say we can actually increase the pressures probably. It's just I mean, the runs fair still. I mean, the thing is, I run weaker in the race, so I need more pressures actually in the tires. Because I run more conservatively in the race, I don't overdrive my car so hard, so I don't get these massive amounts of like pressure into this. Okay, we do need 6 TC, that's because anything else is trying to murder me. We apply the pressures that we have to the pit stop because we probably need a fresh set of rubber during the race. The car did come a bit tail happy at the end. I can just increase the TC to compensate against the problem. I think I will open up the brake ducts again. And perhaps stall drive with like 5 rear wing, just yes, to play it safe. We don't have to do anything silly if we're not beating Wolfenkel here, but we can for sure go for here podium. I'm gonna be real here. Like a podium for sure is here on the cards for this race. So, right, we need to calculate fuel for this race. The advantage is like if it dries out and I need to switch off early, then I can fairly quickly do that because the car doesn't run out of fuel that quickly, even in these conditions. Okay. So we've been turning like let's calculate 140 lap times. I have 120-minute race, 1.66666666. There's roughly like 72 laps. So let's calculate that with, we need a 72, we need an additional lap for formation, we need an additional lap for like compensating against GT3, and let's just slam another lap for good measure on there. Then we need to multiply this with 2, because we've been burning 2 liters per lap, and that's 150 liters. Yes, not enough. Not by much, right? Like this car can hold 120 liters, that's 30 liters that we're short. It's just to think, like, this car could be a bit fuel saving and you can go the distance on this car. It's crazy. But yeah, it's about 75 liters for the hour, so we will just whack 75 liters into the fuel tank and race with that, and then go for the pit stop and map in 75 liters for this. So that's good. 75 liters on the wet compound tire. I may need to set up like a so let me just briefly. The thing is, like, what tire pressures would I need to if I load dry set? Because you need to decrease them quite drastically. I think like I just drop like 2 psi out of those tires at this point. Point. And we just keep these settings like this. So I think I'm happy with that. Maybe save that as like save as phone away again. KTM. It is. This track is Zolder. Wet 01. So. It would be useful if we had like a warm-up session to just drive the car out and take a lap or two. But yeah, what we just let me just briefly get up and inspect my water. I mean, honestly, looking around here, the pit lane is quite dry. I mean, you can clearly see the rain falling on top of my car. Or would I say it's the track dry? Are you dry? Hydration is important, kids. Hold on, look, just the rims on that BMW flickered. It had the brake caliper still, but it saved the... Why would you say... Okay, there's a reason actually. Because if you do the entire animation for the wheel rotation, which is usually like a GIF or something, then the car is... Yeah, you can see it's flickering right there. Because the brake discs aren't rotating actually. The game doesn't showcase that, but like the wheels have a certain trickery to make them seem like they're rotating. Or depends, like maybe they're actually rotating it. But with how often you have to spin a wheel, they sometimes just like have a blur animation over and weird shit is done sometimes. I'm just saying. But like, you might just like make wheels disappear. But usually you remove not just the wheel, you remove like everything in that area. But apparently ACC decided that like it is applicable to just remove the wheels. Funnily enough, it does that while the same car has still like the windshield wipers animated on it.
Yeah, let me just say that slightly as well.
And yes, I'm walking through the back of my KTM. How is it going, engine block? Oh, hey, suspension. How are you doing? Well, actually, that's the gearbox back here. So, making some... And that's the brake disc over here. So... I mean, you're obviously not really intended for looking this closely to the stuff, but like really, there's quite some detail back here. And consider that you're, when you're driving, usually not seeing this shit. It's like, this is probably rendered even when I'm driving. It's honestly quite the waste of resources. But I mean, in part you have to render this shit because you might not see the mesh back there, but like if you... Can I walk behind the car? Does my room have enough space for that? Yeah, because it's... okay. Yes, if you look like this here, you could see in there. So this stuff has to be rendered because you can see it from the back of the car. Also, I've never looked really at like the back like this. But like the white area around the rain light there looks kind of cool. Right. We have about 2 minutes left in this qualifying session. I'm drinking probably a bit much. Let me grab... I think the advantage of... problem with this bottle is I have 2 water bottles. One of them is a bit taller, it has more capacity and has like a full loop. I mean, I could actually show this on stream. Let me grab both of them. Right. So I don't know how this will look briefly, but here's one of them. Opens like this. But like the problem with that bottle is it's too tall to get underneath my water tap, so I also have this bottle here. It's quite neat with this tap because you can fairly easily unscrew it one-handed. Like that. But this one is shorter, and the thing is with like water bottles, it's actually like easier to drink out of them than glass. Oftentimes. Because there's no part that sticks up that would hit you on the side of your VR headset, so probably putting like the other bottle next to me. Blue one. And yeah, right, okay. Good. Right. So let's sit down. Actually we're now 7 seconds behind the pole position in GT. Let's climb back into the car. So turn this display off. So yeah, the qualifying session has now ended. Honestly, I could just briefly calibrate my position a bit because it was a bit messed up, honestly. Yeah, so that should be better. Right, so we only have 10 GTs, not GTs, GT3s now. McConnell is sitting on pole position so far. Even get I think it's even. Egan, I'm sorry, but like that's the pink Porsche. It's actually quite cool. There's no Ferrari, then there's Ferrari, Andres and Manessa. Not Manessa, Manea. Then Reed in a Porsche, then Gordon in a Lamborghini. Then Nielsen in a Lamborghini, then Mr. Vowles and Mr. Vowles and then Fabich. The entire GT3 field spread over 2 seconds, but actually the top 6 are spread within 4/10. Okay, that's insane. There's 4/10. I mean, honestly, that's kind of the spread that we have between backwards from me. I'm sitting at 7 seconds off the GT3 pole. Then Ware's like less than a tenth behind me, then about half a tenth Szymanski behind him, then Mareuter is like about 2/10 behind Szymanski. It's like, this is pretty tight. And then it's like 4/10 to Hartmann. So yeah. Actually, let me briefly press return to garage so I can get my car back. Okay. We still have then 5 minutes from garage. I predicts quite a bit of rain coming up. Actually, the track is not dry. Oh my fucking god. And it predicts rain. This is insane. This is gonna be insane. I'm just gonna tell you that. Oh my fucking god. Oh god, oh god, oh god. The track is rated optimum. It's dry. It's fucking dry. But there's rain incoming in like 10 minutes. Oh boy, this is something. Now, does it still have my pressures applied? Yeah, we need those applied because we'll need to switch onto rain tires most likely. But I need to start essentially the race on dries. This is interesting as fuck because I need to start the race on dries. So TC down to 1. We need to drop the pressures massively out of these tires so I can run dry tires for like a couple of laps. Actually, I do have this setup saved, so I can just briefly, let me just load the, yes, okay, these are the settings that we need from the aggressive preset. We need about 22 psi in the pressures. Probably need a bit more. About 22 psi, okay, good. Now, Load setup. Load. So current setup. Fuel strategy, we're going on a dry set. Oh, I fucking got this. Because the wet tires are not going to last till the rain comes. So I'm just going to go, well, we're going dry tires at the start, guys. And we hope they don't just blow up in my face. The dries. Honestly, we'll just put like 23 PSI into all of them. Though, like, the temperatures are not high and we're probably going to... We have the pressures applied already to the strategy, so I can just put my wet tires on and be good to go immediately. So dry set 1 won't break. Fine, we're going to run still the same amount of like other stuff. I think I'm going to go down 1 and we're going to decrease the TC to 1. I'm going to start the race on 1 TC. Okay, this is... I have no clue how this will perform. This is going to be very interesting to share. And we're going on wet tire. No stop. This should perhaps work. Now, actually, I need to also change the brake bias because the brake bias is way too. Is per. On the dry, you need like 50s, like way more forward, but like on the wet stuff, this is the first. This is basically a wet set still. I just moved a couple of sliders around and called effectively a dry set. So, right, let's just pray and hope this works. Okay, some people are starting on wets. I'm the thing is, I know that I can run half an hour in. I hope the mandatory stop doesn't have a pit window to it, because then I can just pit really early, and as long as I burn like 30 liters out of the fuel tank, I can run the rest of the race or not, or just get a fresh set of wets and run till the end. It's like, yeah, it's a gamble that like the first 10 minutes is going to be dry and then I'm wet, but like I think the wet tire's just dead before then. I don't think the wets last long enough, and I just go like, well, I'm going to run the dry tires into the wet conditions. Gonna do that. Oh, that's not gonna be easy here, Chief. This is not easy for sure. I just hope my pressures are halfway right. Okay. Just a couple of seconds.
30 seconds.
Yep. Okay. Prepare everything. Engine started. Pit stop is valid. We're going on a wet set. The pressures are configured for it. Why is the steering wheel so far off, honestly? I think it's pretty good. Okay. Pressures are all configured, everything's fine. So I hope I get the temps into my tires, and then... So...
Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curves.
Honestly, I could have left the brake bias where I had it because I need to heat up my brake discs. Pretty sure he's on the same strat as me. Because we're both like aggressively weaving to get temps into the tires. I'm still only at like 25 psi, this is not good. I probably picked my tire pressures wrong.
Going double file.
Was a bit far. We're nearly at 26 psi, but it's really been like, I usually don't attack this hard. Why?
Green light. Give it all you got. Car on the left.
I'm going to lose immediately position here.
Clear on the left. Car on the left.
Oh, there's murder!
Clear on the left.
That's... Please pick up the pace GT3, for fuck's sakes.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Why are the front runners of the GT4 beating the GT3 right now? It's... My rear left is up to pressure, that is really good. So I didn't botch this up completely. I think I have an actual chance of getting the tires up to pressure, but my right side perhaps is too low. I hope I didn't get a puncture on that shit.
Slow car ahead. Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
Okay, the rain hit before we can... They recommend immediate, so I made a mistake with not starting on wet tires then. Because we have already the rain. Hey, 10 minutes? That's not 10 minutes. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief, that was not 10 minutes. Although, actually, that could be 10 minutes. With my under pressure tires, that's not gonna help. Like my right side tires are completely way under pressured.
There's a slow car up ahead.
Thing is, there's no pit winner. We can just come in at the point that we have burned enough fuel to run to the end.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Slightly botched that chicane completely.
Yellow flag. Be careful. There's a slow car up ahead.
Why are so many GT3s dying? But yeah, my tire pressures are dropping hard. That's like a miscalculation on the...
Not me. Goes on fastest lap.
And it will take quite a few laps till we burn it. So it'll take 15 laps roughly till we are clear to run to the end. Oh gods! Brakes? You just absolutely did not react to that. I need to move my brake bias robots. Because we have to adapt to the wet conditions. Brake earlier.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
These conditions are still not great for wet tires. They want a bit more water on the track. Yeah, I mean my tires are completely dropping off. I needed like 25 psi instead of 23 here in the tires to start off with. They're way under pressure, but I have now a gap to Szymanski, so that's... Yeah, lap times are starting to drop, yeah. Yeah, that was a miscalculation of going with dries instead of wets. Yeah, why don't you say, like, this might actually add up because 5 minutes during the gridding phase, and then the formation lap, which is like 4 minutes, and then suddenly, like, you boom, you have your 10 minutes I did not calculate that because I thought that was from the start of the race and not from the start of like that session. So it's at that point it made perfect sense to just start on the increase the TC slowly. Because we are getting onto a slippery track. I mean, at this point it's a question of time till I get a puncture with how low the tire pressures are dropping. That was dicey to say the least. Okay, Szymanski has closed up massively on me again. I mean, my lap times are dropping harder than a stone. It's just conditions just not playing at all favorably with my... Yeah, that's just inexperience and like what you need to do in these conditions. In these changing conditions with the pressures. I don't have a clue really. And the thing is, ACC really makes you pay if you don't run the correct pressures.
Low tire pressure, stay away from curbs.
I get the low tire pressure warning now. That's how low they have dropped. And we've just only completed the 5 laps. We need a bit more to... It looks like a GT3 again.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Probably one of the early takers of wet tires. Where did he just vanish to? I mean, I have Szymanski still behind me, so I shouldn't be disconnecting, but the car in front clearly is. You know, the pit menu is completely hiding the left side mirror. The thing is, I have to pull off the pit menu to get a... I mean, I don't really need to pull up the pit menu to see any weather report, because I see here still it's predicted even more rain in half an hour. The rain will intensify. Just, I want to do my 15 laps so I can actually run till the end of the race. So I've done my mandatory stop. But everybody seems to be very much struggling in these conditions. Well, I think a lot of people have just called to the pits already. In the GT4 runners. Like Zax is just coming out of the pit lane. Oh, come on! What the hell are you doing? What the fuck was that? Just stops on the fucking apex again. Come on, people. Are you for real, mate? Sorry, but like... Come off the pits, you put yourself in front of the other car and then just like... Well, I guess I'm going to stop. And just brake check the other guy. Completely. This is the problem. Sometimes you just expect your opponent to actually like act like a fucking human being, and like then you end up with the back markers who just like woefully off the pace and have no clue what the hell they do.
Car on the right.
No, that sucks. He wanted to be careful for T1. The problem is you slotted yourself directly in front of one of the lead cars and you just got immediately rear-ended. That's very... Actually, you're just reminding me of something. Hey, I can switch with my rain lights. Honestly, I can look at... Yeah, the track conditions are still not wet. They weren't qualifying wet, they're right now damp. Which is probably not ideal for the wet tires yet either. But lap times are slow. Slower than in Quali, so that's just... weird! You just stopped. It's like... Who do we have in front? McDowell! What are you doing back here? I can lap you. I mean, he served his pit stop, so he has come into the pits, obviously, and gotten... done also the... thing why I'm still out is because I'm planning to run... once I've done my pit stop till the end of the race.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
I have no clue how far now. Szymanski is still behind me on track. Barker is also behind me on track. Barker was way further up the order. The thing is, I know Mareuter started, or he said he would start on wets, but he's clearly not behind us. So where the order for the wet runners and nub is like a bit beyond me. Yeah, I'm leading GT4. I didn't notice where Bollwinkel came in. He clearly has come in. He clearly thinks now the conditions are that wet enough to come in, so I should probably follow him in fairly soon, but I want to do my couple of laps. Actually, I'm close to getting my fuel number wise actually to this point. I have like 54 liters remaining. But I think in part I'm burning right now more fuel in these semi-dry conditions. I mean, you can see McDowell. But McDowell is not pulling away that quickly from me. Considering I'm driving the right tires right now. Szymanski has been staying out behind me. Maybe he thinks I know something that he doesn't. Well, he's just probably wrong with that. I mean, at which point did the 75 liters fit into the... Actually, not at 50. That's stupid. I've only burned like 25 liters out of my fuel tank right now. Really far from actually getting to... I need to go down to 45 liters. I mean, we'll probably get there with the... That's a GT3. Looks like...
On the left. Clear on the left.
Szymanski just to confuse me additionally. Put the TC one click even further up. The thing is, the lap times are still pretty stable right now. These conditions. Yeah, stably slow, but like they're stable. Has it been updated to wet? No, it's still a damp track, not a wet track. GT3 again behind me.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Currently just jacking up the pressures additionally on my wet set, because I imagine my wet tires probably need a bit more in them. Szymanski is continuing to drop back. I think he very much is on dry tires like me, and he's now struggling as well. Bach is also dropping back, so I think all of us are on dry tires and we're just braving it at this point to get to the first stop. So we can run the rest of our race.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Oh god. Surprised we didn't collect a puncture or something so far. As far as I can see down the order. Everybody behind us hasn't pitted yet, but there's a bunch of people who haven't pitted yet. So. I mean, the conditions aren't feeling that terrible, so it's like you can brave it out for a bit longer, you can run to the end. The thing is, right, prediction is that the rain intensity will increase in the next 10 minutes. And there's more rain predicted after the 30 minutes. So I probably should be coming in more or less sooner rather than later. It's lap 14. I've done my formation lap. So we could just do the pit stop now and or we run more and more lap. Just to be ever easy, because these tires need to last till the end of the race, so the track is still just damp, so
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
one more time. Let's come in the next lap. We're going to have yep, the track condition has been updated to wet, so I'm gonna put another PSI in it. Fuck it. Put one more in. Actually, the track temperature has gone up in the meantime, so let's not do that. Let's call it into the pits at the end of this lap. Problem is I don't have a clue where my pit speed limit starts. I think there was the sign, so I'm like, let's just not gamble here. Someone knocked over the sign, so they have everything configured. Don't need repairs. Technically I should have just tacked them on because I didn't fulfill the car. That was a mistake. We're getting only 118 liters into the car. This should be fine.
Mandatory stop is not clear. Let's go, go, go.
Yep, we're then on wet tires now. We're coming out in front of Ryan Ware. Actually behind. Sorry. Why did he give me a track limit warning for coming out of the pit lane? Here he has also done a pit stop. We're back in P12 now with the pit stop. It's a bit of an odd line you've taken there.
Faster cars approaching. Car on the left.
Problem is he's faster than me on the straights, but not by much, honestly. Come on, Lambo, just fucking swing your ass by here. I shouldn't slip slide my car too much. Tires need to last here. No, I don't want to do that. It's a mistake. I want to switch up my... Okay, I overpressured my wet tires a bit. They're like a PSI too high. But from practice session this was pretty fine, so... Hey, that should be fine again.
Gaining on the car ahead in sector 1. Yellow flag in sector 1. There's a car leaving the pit lane, watch out. There's a slow car ahead. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Yeah, Semensky has also pitted, he came on about. Can't imagine he's like... Come on, McConnell, get away from us. I'm pretty sure there's a fucking track limit in front of me. At least he isn't holding me really that much up. There's a long stretch where he's faster. And I'm like in the back part of the circuit quicker. Though I'm starting to be like, yo, he's starting to kind of hold me up, so it's...
Yellow flag ahead. Be careful. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Ooh, that was tight.
Car on the left.
I think he's backing out. That is clearly him.
Car on the left.
Or not?
Clear on the left. Car on the left.
Look, you were clearly driving a bit weird because you backed out and then suddenly dived me. Like, that's affecting.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left.
Could you just stop fighting me, for fuck's
On the
sake?
left.
You're not gonna win against me, really. It's... I can't hit corners better than you by like significant margin, and it's just... I should have braked a bit there later. Problem is I'm braking too early for everything, because I'm used to my old braking. There's someone in the back.
Gaining on the car ahead in sector 2.
Okay, now I have drawn a gap. That's what I needed. Just get a break from him. More TC. It's just... This car has lit up my rear tires through that corner so many times now. In consecutive laps, it's just not fun. Oh god. That's not good. Oh, come on. Thing is, you have to pit for fuel still. I don't. I just need to... The thing is, the next phase is really more easy for you than me. Which is passing this bunch of cars that are still probably on dry tires. Though they probably won't put up that much of a fight than you have. Because I can very much out-corner him. As long as I don't make a mistake. Weather prediction continues to be more rain. It's good for us. Fanning's Grundpfeifer. Oh, please don't lose control right in front of me.
Car on the left. Leader on the left.
Okay, he's given up. He gave very easily up to me. Not worth fighting me. But I mean, I have to applaud the bravery of these guys. They're still sticking on like dry tires or something. Come on, move your ass! I had to check up. Why is the lag in ACC so bad where cars just snap forward, snap backwards? Oh, fucking twat! Runs me off the road for...
Car on the left.
Ryan, stop battling me for fuck's sake.
Leader on the left.
Flash your lights as much as you want. You're not in a race with me. You're the same as them. They are not in a race with me. You are not either. And if I'm not constantly held up in traffic, I can pull away from you, as I clearly demonstrate more. And you were making a move just because I was held up by the traffic, specifically. If I hadn't been, like, rammed off the road in the previous chicane by someone, I would not have been able to. You would not have run, so. It's a bit wide for me.
Faster car coming up behind you.
I need even more TC.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
1.4 seconds, I'm going away now finally from him. God damn it. Oh, come on. Oh, we have to deal with Russell. What I find weird is that these guys just aren't calling it into the pits and just getting out of the traffic. I mean, it was understandable when it was like over an hour to go or something, but like... when it was like 1.5 hours to go, but like at this point, just come in. Like there's an hour, less than an hour 15 to go. Your car can easily last a few spin. It's not as crazy as like what I'm doing with like... It's still like very sensible strategies at this point. Yeah, he's dropping back massively. It's like if I had let him by, that would have been very detrimental for me. Or maybe they are on wet tires, they're just so slow as drivers.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
So, boom, 2 positions done. Next one, Iversen. I think Iversen might be leading overall or something. No, he couldn't be. I know Bullwinkel was up the order there. Let's see, where's who? Yeah, Iversen is only like... what? A couple of positions actually up. Bullwinkel is leading overall, I think. Yeah, he is in the lead again. He has done the pit stop, he is in the lead already. For him, is the race going splendidly because he has a massive lead over me. He's the next car effectively on track with. So he has to still come into the pits to get to the end. I don't. Or he most likely has to. Yeah, so otherwise save massively fuel. So I have to focus because, well, Ryan is not one to let off easily, probably. And he's still like 1.5 seconds behind. So if I make shitty laps like this one, then he'll be right up against me.
Slow car ahead. Faster car is approaching. Watch out. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Seeing the rain light reflect off the road, that's so fucking awesome. Yeah, next car is reversing. GT4 standings had him listed way further up the order than me, so something was... they're not alright. Maybe some people came into the pits and it fucked up. Let me check in a sec. Overall GT4... I'm about 6 seconds. Fastnut is like way... there's a reasonable gap to the next.
Faster car behind you.
2 cars in front, but I have no clue how far. Barker's now in the pits, okay? So that was probably the actual GT4 leader for now.
Car on the left.
Okay, now let's moved up.
Car on the left.
GT3, what the fuck are you doing? Come on, commit!
Clear on the
You're hauling me up, for fuck's sakes. Come on! Like, the only reason I slipped besides you is because you just didn't curl the fucking corner. If you just thrown it in, you weren't past me. But that cost me now massively time, and I have a competition here. Like, that cost me massively time, and I have someone behind me not far. Completely unnecessarily, because you just chickened out. You just couldn't put the fucking pedal down and go for it. You just sometimes have to do it. And you clearly didn't have the balls. That cost me now massively. Yeah, still more rain predicted. Thanks, car. I need to downshift earlier to second. Promise I'm putting my tires really for torture here. I think the track is definitely getting wetter and wetter. And not that my tires getting slower right now. time is he doing?
Faster car coming up behind. Watch out. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
I mean, I'm not racing Baldwin for like really a win or anything. He's such a stupidly good driver. I can't beat that guy. So where am I? .13 seconds is fast enough behind. Like, he's got 12 seconds, so he's about like, what, 26, 27 seconds ahead of me. Honestly, for an hour, that's not that bad, and considering he's way earlier than me swap to dry tires. He's not running away that much. To wet tires, he's not running away that much. Minimum swapped like 7 laps, I think, earlier than me onto wets. About 86 liters right now remaining. We're coming up to 1 hour to go. The thing is, the KTM is probably one of the lowest fuel consumption cars. Besides probably the Alpine, probably has also low fuel consumption. Like the Ryan's Camaro probably sucks completely. If he hasn't decided to come into the pits instead of holding me up, that's wise. I mean, we're approaching the 1 hour mark, so everybody will be pitting at this point. It might be that these guys are actually in wets. I mean, these could just decide over drive dries.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Hey, McConnell. How's it going? Missing the corner completely.
Clear on the right.
That's the lapped car. He's running about 13 positions behind me. I mean, granted, it probably includes some GT3s in front in between. He is somebody who continues to race, fair enough. He doesn't have to cooperate that much with me. I mean, to be fine with it, but like the next car I definitely want to get by here. Oh, come on, dude, your blue flags!
Car on the left.
Your blue flags, just back out of it.
Clear on the left.
Why are you not just backing out of it, for fuck's sakes? You blue flags, come on, dude. You're a lap down. You're holding up the fucking race leaders, for fuck's sakes. Just get out of the way, okay?
We're a long way through, not over yet.
Jesus, this... Like, I overshot the corner and then he proceeds, like, to overshoot it completely. Come on, dudes. Pay attention to your deltas and realize the car you're racing is not for position. And don't fight it. Your life becomes way easier, right? I did not expect you to move over only... And I was a bit back in the chicane. But, like, crying out loud, it's blue flags. Just... Even if the league doesn't demand you to move
Faster car is approaching.
on same class, just do it because it makes everyone's life easier. There's gonna be no tears. Because acting like a prick will probably lead you to a big accident. See, that's what I expected essentially of you. It's just ridiculous that I can outpace on the exit the GT3, but like, okay, fine. Yeah, we have like about 80 liters. This is more than enough to run till the end at this point. Rain continue to be expected for the future. I'm slightly interested what the pit menu says about like the track conditions. Wait. Okay. So we haven't gone to flooded yet, but I mean, lap time performance is too good for that.
Slow car ahead. Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
Oh, the gap. Yeah, I mean, we're now... Everybody has pitted in front, so it's now us versus Bullwinkle, 28 seconds. It's for 1 hour fair. Absolutely fair for a single hour. If I can keep the gap there, he's gonna have a interesting time with his second stop. Except he's saving fuel, which, I mean, with that gap you can actually try. I presume he's not gonna do that. I'm just gonna have to hope that my tire's gonna die. Because they have to do a long run here. I am going away from Ryan. Let's see the Phoenix again. This time around he's a lap car. Thank you, I hope my... I'm sorry that my acceleration isn't, but very much thank you for getting out of the way. Sadly I didn't have that good of an exit, so you lost quite a bit of time there. And are you battling? Yeah, you're battling, I think, the guy in front of you, aren't you? Or are you 2 laps down or something? Yeah, you're battling actually folks in front. So that is like very generous. I hadn't flashed up yet with my headlights or anything, I just decided to move over before I even do anything. Understeer there, some there.
Car on the left.
Yeah, he's giving up as well. Though he's definitely minimized his time loss compared to Phoenix. They both cost me basically no time, so that's very nice for them. What Fuchs did is probably more like what I would do closer, because I would basically lift out of the braking zone and just let him have the corner. Honestly, my tire pressures are really good. Right now I'm like at 30.4 on my rights, 30.7 on my front left, that's the highest. I could be working with lowers, but like these are very good. It's way better than what I did at the start with my dries. That was an absolute verifiable disaster what I did there. I completely mismanaged those.
up behind you.
It's GT3 coming up. Let me move to the right to get you out of the way.
Clear on the right.
These wet tires are so good, honestly. In ACC, you just have so much grip in the wet. I mean, it's not that wet, but like, it's not dry by any stretch. But we still have a very long way to go with this. Oh boy, this is not over long. Long from a V8, long from a V8. Oh god. That's a way to lose quite a bit of time. Which Beamer is it this time around in front of me? I'm pretty sure it's Drossel. Beamer pairing I'm getting.
Car is exiting the pits, watch out.
So I think a GT3. No, it's a GT4. If it's scored correctly. Who is it? Reuter. Well, he hasn't been having a good race then, has he? He qualified, I think, like P4 or something? Fairly up the order. Similar to... He's been doing good in the wet races and then just... And just this race isn't going particularly too well for him. I mean, he probably was involved in that T1 accident with Ryan. Ryan has very much bounced back really well from that, honestly. Because that... he probably spun there, I'm not quite sure, but like... he lost a heap of positions there for sure. And if you spun completely, then it's just like, well, he dropped to last in the class, and he's still fighting really well for that back. Right. That's, I think, yeah, that's vowels. Let me get to the right hand side so you can have the inside line in the safe corner.
Clear on the right.
That's... please put down on your power and just get away. Don't hold map. It's clearly noticeable when you're following a car that how much spray they kick up. We have now two GTs, GT3 spine. Very close behind. Are they battling? No, they are not. They are on different laps even. Because that's P2 coming up behind me. It's P6 then.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Faster car coming up behind. Watch out.
Yeah, Ryan is now 12 seconds behind me. We can wait to the right hand side. Okay, good.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Actually, I'm leading. I just noticed. I'm leading in GT4. So that means that... What has happened? I didn't pay attention. But it must be like... Must have pitted, but he's way down the order then, because he's not in the top 10 anymore. Simonski is P3. And I'm leading GT4, I just noticed. Oh, but there's still like 40 minutes to go. I'm halfway on this set of tires, basically. Half of the life that we need down, and there's half still to go. So they're gonna need to watch it at the end of this.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Morita does not seem to be someone a fan of letting people by during blue flags. I may need to remind them that yes, I'm currently the class. Okay, he's letting me by.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Very sorry, that was...
Car on the left.
I took too much curbing and just... We have to do this entire thing all over again. Please don't let me run you over by accident. He's not slow, but he's like slower than me right now, and I can't really afford to lose that much time. I'm just noticing Bullwinkler's actually behind me right now. Correctly. If I saw that correctly. Yes, he is. 2.6 seconds, he's a lap down. So he must have, like, pitted for full service, or... It's gonna be a new record if he can unlap himself and win this, though.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Okay, networking is done. Now I try to stay safe and not hold the up anymore. Okay, gotten past them now. I still have like about 12 seconds to Ryan. Thing is, I still expect most people to pit before the end of this. I'm not expecting to. Honestly, my right foot, one of the areas of my right foot is hurting. I need to adapt my way of pressing down the throttle pedal because it's essentially I'm rubbing up against the bottom edge. I'm pressing down using that, and it's I mean, I'm not drawing away particularly. I really want to get past this pack here before Bullwinker unlaps himself. And get clear of it before Bullwinker unlaps himself, because this would make it... Because this could cause a lot of pain when he gets involved in this entire thing. Because I'm going to let him by, basically, because I'm not going to fight with the guy. So he's probably way faster than me. Alright, that's very much sticking around behind me. Alright, that's for sure not going slow. Or slow to average. Probably fucked today with, I don't know, strategy, something. Oh, come on. Now I have to inject some... And being slow on the laps that I'm fast. Now he's definitely stepped up his pace. Yeah, he's feel threatened from Bullwinkle behind. That's not good. This is not a good situation that I'm in here. Because I'm getting involved here in a battle that's really none of my business.
Faster car coming up behind. Watch out.
Oh god, that was a dive and a half. Not a fan of that when you're doing that on the GT4 leader, for fuck's sakes. Okay, they're now really close to each other. Yeah, there's still only one way right now to get out of this. Just drive. And not do that. Yeah, this is not good because I'm bottling up them. And they're going to have to make aggressive moves on me to get by me.
Faster car is approaching. Watch out.
The GT3 has come by.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Yeah, our McConnell, who's usually just very slow at passing everyone. Yeah, Szymanski is still behind me about now 10 seconds, so I don't like that. Currently, this is just not developing correctly for me. I cannot relax at all here in this position. There's over half an hour to go still, and there's two people very much engaged in battle behind me. I need to lock down some good laps now. Just get distance, because Szymanski is not far behind. I think Ryan has pitted. But I expect Szymanski to be in the exact same strategy that I am. have half an hour to settle this.
Faster car coming down behind you. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
And there's rain predicted till the end of the race. So this is gonna finish wet. Actually, I was wrong. Szymanski's 20 seconds behind. Well, half the number was clipped off, so I was just like guessing. Must have been like my mistake. But yeah, Ryan must have pitted for his second time to get to the end. It's Bollwinkel behind me, about a second. Oh god, that's not good. The thing that will be seen from the right are very evil, what I'm going to probably do soon, is letting Bollwinkel by. Well, there's no reason to fight him for long. I'm now sandwiched between him and another position he probably wants to gain soon. So how the hell am I going to get out of... I have my position picked. Please don't ram me off the road right there. It didn't activate the indicator, fuck. I'm gonna just do it manually. Just get by. My indicator didn't activate. I probably haven't pressed this. Yep, no, this is pressed. Probably now the indicator actually works. And there's no reason to fight you. Problem is I'm now stuck behind this battle, effectively. It's just... Yeah, we're basically both not too far from each other's pace. You're probably a bit quicker, but yeah, and you get stuck behind traffic. And just focus on the guy. I'm going to follow you. And And please make it quick. So I can move by him as well. And here's Hartmann. I think that's Bollwinkel's teammate, if I remember that correctly. Could I get by this? Or
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Yellow flag in sector 2.
I think that's not a nice move for me. Not sure what quite happened. I think there was minor contact between those two. Come on, please, drive a bit quicker. I know you can, I very much know, it's just... It's such an awkward position I am in. I mean, you probably don't know, but I'm leading the class right now, so it's just... Could you just kind of like... Not... Just drive a bit quicker and we can... Just get this done here with. I mean, and you're now making very much nice display of that.
Faster cars approaching. Watch out.
Okay. And I forgot to mention we're under half an hour to go with this. My tires are continually just losing slightly the pressure.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right.
Please come by.
Clear on the right. Faster cars approaching. Watch out. left. Clear on the left.
Well, front row seats for the team internal battle between of Battle Pal.
Yellow flag ahead. Good job. There's a slow car ahead.
Oh wait,
Car on the left.
I clearly didn't pay attention because now Bullwinkle is ahead. I was just logging my laps. Clearly at some point Bullwinkle was led by because that's Atman. It's a bit like sideways, I would say. But drawing away from Szymanski actually. But I don't like this golden guy right now because he was off at T1 and he's seemingly a bit out of control right now. That makes me slightly concerned. And when you're leading like this, you're like, I don't like any irregularities, please, at all. Thank you. My ancient tires have to just hold on for another 20 minutes. Tire pressures continue to drop slowly, but down to like 30 psi. The thing is, the stint started with like them being at 31.2 or something. They were quite overpressured and now they're like 30 flat nearly. And that's like over an hour ago at this point. These tires were put onto the car. Yeah, track temperature has decreased to 21 degrees Celsius. Air temperature is 20. I think when I put the tires on it was like 24 track, something. And 22 air. So the track has definitely with the second the stronger rain decreased in. Grip level. That point. It's okay. .28 seconds over gap to Szymanski. Fastnacht is P3, that's... It's impressive. He started way at the back of the field. And is on course for a podium here. Probably he started on wet tires and kept them from dying in the beginning. And that's why he's so far. Because he didn't have to pit twice to get in. That's lap number not completed. Yeah, the small text is way too small. The text is readable, like the small text is too small. But we've been on this set of tires for over 40 laps now. It's not something that a tire set usually does. So I mean, if in proper wet condition, wet tires last basically forever. You can run them for years and years and years. Nah, not quite. Because they get old and stuff, but like proper wet tires, they can last basically forever.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
So, less than 15 minutes to go. That's an eighth of the race only remaining. That's not good. Still no track cuts. I mean, it's a track limit. It's a invalid lap, but like not track limits. Probably ACC similar to RF2 in the wet conditions is just stupidly forgiving at that point. to these conditions. So we're now closing in on Brunetic's teammate. I think it's Brunetic's teammate. The next BMW in front of me. Looking up there, like I'm questioning how good the weather sealing of this car is. In terms of the water flowing into it.
Yellow flag ahead, watch out.
What is that? It's Fenning spun out. Coming together probably with a GTE. GT. Why am I on today about GTEs? I'm still frightened by them, how they treated Pierce all day. Boy, it's... Well, the prediction continues to be rain till the end of this, very much. There's just... I'm over 30 liters from my guidance. Running P16 overall. I'm running P8 overall. Okay.
Clear on the left.
Well, that's a way to let me by. Where's the visible, we can still see, Boyvinkel in front of us. So that's good. Right, okay. I mean, I'm not gonna hit the 75 laps I expected to. Granted, I calculated with more than 40s and we're lapping more like 43s and 44s. I'm gonna just leave them as is. I'm gonna ignore that fact. Or 42s. Oh yeah, and I don't include a pit stop. Right, that's also a thing. Because we're under 10 minutes to go now. We have 63 laps completed in this race. There's 27 liters remaining on the fuel tank. This is gonna be easy sailing to the end. Tires are feeling good. Car's going quick. Andrews. I just realized Andrews is actually leading the race overall. So
The car is exiting the pits, watch out.
how many laps is he like in front of me? Probably a lot of them, because I've seen him lap me quite a few times.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Oh, that was a bit close.
Faster car approaching, watch out.
It's P4, so the GT3 field is quite spread out as well. Most likely similar strategy issues. And I think Andrews was also the pole sitter. So there's that. Again behind. But I think P qualified in the same position. I mean, it's a 2-hour race, so like the field was spread out. A lot of people got a lap down.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Oh, come on, you. Just please get by me. You get GT3 after all.
Car on the right.
Please just get by,
On the
okay?
right.
That's a rally cross line and a half. I think last time around when I was passing you, you weren't particularly cooperative either. Oh wait, actually,
Car on the right.
maybe you were already.
Clear on the right.
Right, okay, good. Thanks, I really appreciate that. Makes my life a lot easier. 'Cause I don't have to fight you. Yeah, we have a GT3 that's actually not lapping us, but instead just passing us for position. This is the next car on track behind us. Someone's getting fast enough. It's still the top 3 with us. Went on 66 laps, nice.
Faster car coming up behind you.
Yes, Simonski must have dropped back further because he can't even complete sector 1 before I get to sector 2. Get over the start finish line until I complete sector 1. McConnell, you're not battling him. That's the... I don't like that. Vowles is a fairly aggressive driver, and like McConnell is trying to unlap himself off him. McConnell was the car that was behind the GT3, so we're now overall P9, leading the GT4 class. Okay, you can pass on the right.
Clear on the right.
Kinnan. Wait, only. Kinnan being in P2 actually, so there's quite a sizable gap between race lead and P2. These three guys are like on way different laps to each other. Now it depends where the race leader is. There's not enough time for me to get around before the timing expires. But I think the race leader will, so we have 2 laps to go at this point. Kind of a bit squirrely right now, but that's totally fine still. Okay, not quite. I mean, I'm slow, but that's probably more me right now. I have nothing to push for. I just need to get this car around the circuit. I have so much fuel left. Oh my fucking god. I have still like 18 liters left in the fuel tank. I could have pitted way earlier at the beginning of the race. Yeah, there's definitely like improvement potential. As like I fucked up the pressures at the start. The car was very under pressure. We were lucky not to get punctures, and the car was still halfway performing. I swapped on, and I pitted a bit late.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
Yet later start the final lap. There's a couple of seconds remaining on the clock. Because now the white flag is out. Coming around, finishing off this race. On lap 69. Nice.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front.
Double yellow. What is going on here? Oof!
There's a slow car ahead. Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
Please, guys, stop playing! What the hell are you doing? Ah! Don't give me Monza flashbacks, god damn it! I didn't stream that race, I think. I don't think I... yeah, that was still my last race on my R3. And it's like... that final lap! I was a pretty comfortable lead, and then like... oh hey, there's like... a bunch of... there's like a fucking massive carambolage on the backstretch, and I have to snake around it. At once, and it's like... and I barely won because I lost all my momentum sneaking through it, and then got nearly beaten to the line by a beamer. Just barely winning with my KTM. It is not very quick.
Clear on the left.
Straight line. I think he's carrying us. I was wondering what was the white, massive white thing, but like, yeah, he's carrying a sign around. Yes, 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 yes.
What a race. See you in the pits. Bring it back home.
Yes, boys. We fucking did it. I mean, it's lucky. It was kind of lucky. Like the really good runners, they went on the wrong strategy. They made mistakes that way. But yeah, we got it home. In P1. Oh my fucking goodness. Yes! Okay, there's something chat going on. I don't care, it's not on the stream, so whatever. Yes! P1! I honestly, when I started the season, I didn't particularly expect that. I mean, the preseason races indicated that I could fight for wins. But when we had the practice race at from Barcelona, I was way off the base. Then Barcelona itself, Barcelona race, then Nürburgring was very much, I was way down in the pack, barely in the top 10, and then come Paul Riccard and I'm fighting for the podium. Again at Silverstone I'm a top 5 contender, and then here I'm very much driving in the top, was a podium contender, and I was one of the few who didn't absolutely screw up my strategy. So yeah, that was... Vowels is really angry, probably with McConnell, because those... No, Gordon! I mean, I saw Gordon spun out. The Intercontinental GT pack getting advertised there. Boy! But yes! I think Bullwinkle might have been taken out also in this race, because there's something Kinnan said about hitting him. So that might have been collision that dropped Bullwinkle back, that he was forced to pit, but I think he had to anyway pit. He would have not fought for the win here today. Fucking yes! Oh my god. Fuck. Yes. Yes! Well, yep. That's a W. GG. Man. Yep, people are congratulating Ryan Ware for winning a championship. Yeah, it's... Yep, there's quite a few. Simonski finishing P2 in the end, 37 seconds down. Fastnacht 1 lap down. Turco then in P4. Let me actually... We'll go back to our car. Given the timetables and quickly go for the list. Turco in P4, Ryan Ware back to P5, Iversen. So only me and Simonski finished on lap 7, completed 70 laps, 96 laps for Fastnacht, Turco, Ryan Ware, then Iversen, then Bullwinkle back to P7. That's... Yeah, he would have probably finished by a par if he hadn't gotten into the incident. Groenzer, Groenzer, then Hartmann, Meroitzer, McDonald, Hartmann and Meroitzer rounding out the top 10, then McDonald, Fuchs, Drustel, and Grundhofer. The starting Fuchs only 68 laps completed. Drustel, Grundhofer, Then P15 Fennings, Vanderplus, the guy who was really not particularly useful to getting by. He DNF'd on lap 49. Barker and Sachs also DNF'd on lap 44 and 17 respectively. Yeah, Barker has been quite slacking in the last few races. And Vanderplus, like, Fennings is also 7 laps down, so I think he might have DNF'd towards the end, but I think that is also perhaps a finish, I don't know. Grundhofer in P14 is pretty sure could be the last finisher. But yeah, in in the overall runnings, I mean, I could just briefly look at replay and see what just happened on the final lap. Change camera. I mean, this is weird, but like... we were dumped. Oh well.
Green light, show them what you got.
I wanted to look what the fuck happened on the last lap there. Oh well. Let's just return back to the menus. And boys! First win. Championship. That's a decent haul of points. And I mean, this is only the first third of the championship. And yet now the dropped scores will actually be evaluated, so the one round that I had to drop at, I have to see what the standings come out to. It'll be interesting. But I mean, this is only like the first third of the season. The first trimester. And we will be seeing how the other parts will be faring. Because I think there's an overall championship for season 3 as well. So this one is definitely not completely useless. Yeah, let's see what we can do here. Yep. That was good. Let's switch off the game. Right. Come on, switch off. Let's see. I'm opening up. Good. Fine. Oh, hey, there's another fucking one opened. Good. So, well. Anything left to say, honestly? Do I have something? Honestly, not really. It was a long race towards the end there. But sure, it's not worth it. Fighting there till the last moment. Let's see this. Yep, I got beaten again in the times. The guy found the couple of tens that I left on the table. Fucking hell. That guy is annoying. Because I need to now go back into the Stradale and fight that's like half a second, I think is in the lap very much. I think there's a second like on the lap left. Not much, and it's just like... I'm not letting that slide, because he might just then end up driving one. I mean, he's probably going to have a fun time beating me in the yellow bird lap. The hot lap championship that is in AC at... that I'm talking about is an AC at... what is the track called? It's Black Cat... Yeah, Black Cat County Long Layout. With the Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale, the Ferrari 458 GT2, the Roof Yellow Bird, and the Tattoos FA01. And I'm ahead there. Except not with the Alfa Romeo, but accumulatively I'm ahead, because he's only like half a second ahead of me in that car. And I'm like 4 seconds ahead in the Ferrari, which I think he probably can easily get. The lap wasn't that impressive. And like 1.2 seconds at that lap, he had been battling me hard with the Tattoos, and he's now switched to the Alfa Romeo. Because I don't think I think he might think that he can't get more time out of the Tattoos. I think there isn't much time to be gained anymore. But with the Yellow Bird, I put in the beginning like a 4:14, and then he put in a 4:12.6, and then I came like, no, we're going to do this proper, like 4:07.1. And it's like, I think there might be time, but this is a fucking Yellow Bird. This thing will murder you. It's a yellow bird. If you don't drive consistent laps, you just like pray and hope you don't get murdered. But yes, yeah. In the end, this was a really good race. Not. Well, it had like kind of a lack of battles, but like I didn't fuck up the strategy compared to quite a few people, and that's what brought me into the front of this race. Yep. Okay. Good. I should end this now. I'm always like making the end of my streams way too fucking long. So let's end this here. And then I go back tomorrow through this and timestamp the entire thing. But yeah. I'll be saying good night. Bye bye.